Bill Maher is interesting, as you never know what he will support politically these days. In his latest rant on Real Time with Bill Maher, he actually disagreed with the way the Trump administration is handling the government. Let's watch.
This is week 4 of Hulk Smash. The administration that dissects a frog with a hand grenade. This is their method. Yeah, America's in shock that the guy whose catchphrase was "you're fired" is firing everybody in government. He wants to suck our blood. That is not what I voted for when I voted for Dracula. Maybe this is why Gen Z's approval rating of Trump has dropped 30 points in 1 month. Hey. Hey, kids, a little tip. The time to pay attention is before the election. But yeah, I mean, they are... Look, I believe government is too bloated, but the way they're doing it is ridiculous and horrible. And now they went, maybe this is the one that's too far. They went and fired almost everybody in the agency that's responsible for maintaining our nuclear weapons. Fired. And then, of course, they had to walk that back because somebody said this is a national security crisis. Duh.
Losing the Bill Maher vote, I suppose.
Bill Maher does swing back and forth depending on what's going on. But we talked about this. This administration does make for good late night television.
Yeah, and I guess it, as we've said many times on this show today, I think it would behoove the Trump administration to do these things a little bit differently in some cases and do them through Congress. But you know, as Bill Maher alluded to, Trump made no secret of what he was going to do if he became president again, and he's delivering on his exact promises. It should not shock anyone that he wants to increase border enforcement, that he wants to engage with both our allies and our adversaries on the global level quite differently from Joe Biden, and that he is laser focused on purging the federal government of bureaucrats who worked to stymie his agenda last time around or worked against him in a personal, political, legal context. A vast reshaping of the federal bureaucracy is exactly what MAGA said they were going to do, and so no one should be surprised that this is what's happening. This is what they said they were going to do.
Yeah, and they also wrote it all out in Project 2025. I mean, no one should be surprised that they're now saying that they want to eliminate the Department of Education. Very clearly, there's a blueprint that has been out there.
Republicans have talked about doing that. I interviewed Betsy DeVos, the last Secretary of Education under Trump the first time, who also wanted to do that. They've wanted to do it. Ronald Reagan wanted to do it. They've wanted to do it since it was created. They've just never done it before. Now they might actually do it. That's the surprise, is that promises that were made are actually going to be delivered upon for the first time ever, first time in my lifetime. Republicans are acting to do. Trump is cajoling them into doing what he actually ran on. And so, yes, no one can say, oh, I didn't see this coming.
There are some warning signs, though, in what Bill Maher mentioned. Obviously, he mentioned Gen Z, and from a political operative
they're
perspective,
going to be winning so much. They're going to be sick of winning. It'll be fine.
It might not matter as much to the Republican Party, but the point he was making, even though it was cloaked in a joke, is that when people pay attention, they are troubled. And I do think, as we've talked about, as the impact of the various actions that are happening over the past several weeks and in the coming months, as they begin to reach people out in the real world, out in America, that there is going to be some backlash. It remains to be seen what that looks like and how that impacts members of Congress who may, of course, consider different actions in the future. And in particular, this administration is still, despite its recent actions to try to take away the independent portion of independent agencies, despite its very clear effort to expand the powers of the presidency in every way it can, I do think that Congress is going to be a real factor in this administration's success over the coming years.
I certainly hope so. That does it for us today on Rising. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you can find podcasts. See you back here tomorrow.